Nor, let's use you. Actually, you had some good rolls earlier. Malik, let me use you. It's been a while. All right, guys. So I've got Malik. We're gonna do a couple of guard retention or just guard recovery from when the person has a half guard. Okay. And there's multiple passes that he can do in this position. This one is a lot of times my starting point in the beginning is that both my knees are down until if I feel like 110% set up, which a lot of you guys have been using, or I've been on the receiving end of this, or they call it like a weave pass, but we call it 110. A lot of you guys have been doing this move. So what defenses can we have now that a lot of the people are doing this, right? So first things first, your legs. Okay? So here's the key for a good guard retention. First is the ability to kind of limit his movement, right? So your toes, if you're not locking your feet, like I was saying earlier, if you're not locking your feet, or if your feet are not connected, I want to turn your toes down, the bottom leg. Toes down will help you accomplish a couple of things. You can use it to push his posture down. Notice, like, I've got some form of control on this bottom leg just from turning my toes down. That's a big plus when what you need will be to maybe just a tiny space for a butterfly, or just enough space to regain your knee shield. A lot of these things, having the person moving will help you, okay? Now, the next thing, by turning our foot down or connecting our feet, that's going to help with just keeping the person at bay. The next thing, the most important thing in my opinion, after the legs, are just the cross-face hand, which is this closed hand. I don't want any kind of grip at all around my neck. So if you make it a habit of just making strong frames, and with these strong frames, recruiting your knee for extension. Like, this is going to be your number one way to recover if the person is good at this pass. So let's say he's weaving through, right? That's his move. I'm just going to move away. That's first. Next, my knees are in line. What he wants to do is to crush them together, right? If I move myself away, having my knees together is going to be easy for him to do this because there's no longer support on his upper body. So when you do move away, I'm going to now turn from my feet being connected. My toes are going to turn down to the floor, and my knee is going to come up. So it's like a higher knee shield. I'm addressing his ability to crunch my leg down by not letting my knees stay together. My knees are farther apart, and I'll try to crunch down a little bit harder. Okay, so that's first thing. So feet together, strong frames, no connection whatsoever here. If there is a connection here, start doing whatever you can to start breaking this grip and freeing yourself without disregarding the control that you've got with your legs. A lot of times when we get like kind of tunnel vision on this grip, that this loosens up. That's how they pass. So whenever you're doing this, keep your guard connected, break the grip, whether you do it that way, or you can use your hand to pummel in and start extending, you make a good grip, and using the sharp part. I'm not using the palm, the back of my palm, I'm using the chopping part, which is the sharp bone that we've got here on our wrist, and using that to break the grip. Making a grip up on the shoulder or into the collar. And once you break this grip, you want to make a habit of grabbing the sleeve or grabbing the wrist. That way, his attempts at controlling you lessens, right? Next, turn your toes down to the floor. Okay? This left knee is going to come up. He's putting pressure on you. And you're going to end up in this spot. Now, here's a couple of responses that you can do to where you can kind of throw the person off and maybe get the back or a sweep. So what you're going to do is, my left hand is going to cup the inside of his neck, and I'm going to move my elbow to the inside of my knee. So it kind of like becomes a stronger shield because of that connection. The next, I'm really going to emphasize pushing the head down like this. And once it's there, my left knee is going to move out, and my hand from here is going to go under his armpit. Okay, once I have this, I'm going to double up, and I'm going to keep moving my shin down to his wrist as I pull myself up for the arm drag. Now, I can climb up, or sometimes within this, the momentum, they'll roll with you, right? Or they'll do the escape that Alex taught last time, which is just jumping over and landing on top like this. So those things we got to take into account. But first and foremost, once they start doing this pass, it's just like retention for this pass, right? So first, break any grip on the upper neck and extend yourself away. That's first. Since you're extended, you're weakening that leg, so I'm going to move my knee up. And notice when I move my knee up, okay, from here, I'm going to try to get my elbow to the inside of my knee. That way this frame becomes very strong. My left hand is going to go instead of here, I'm gonna go to the back of his neck, really pulling his posture down, and I'm gonna extend my left leg outwards just to open up space on that armpit area. So I'm gonna go here. When I'm ready, I go 1, but I'm still pushing this down, keeping his head not in my line. I'm gonna keep it away. Some of you can do it like this, and then come here, or if the person's really strong, I like to double up. Sorry, keep your hand there. I like to double up, really almost doing like a bicep slicer on this side. And the next step you're gonna do, as you pull down and away, you're just sliding your shin. Look, I have full control. I can even keep my hook here and really try to yank this arm. But you can just let it slip and treat it like a sweep. Start coming up to the back and work your way to many positions. And then we'll work from that spot. So last one, half guard. He starts attempting the weave pass, 110%. Keep your upper body free. The next step for him is here. Here you're done, right? So you know the next step he needs to accomplish or restrict. Move the knee up, move the knee out, elbow goes in. Hand goes to the back of the neck. Knees are gonna flare out just a bit more. Armpit, armpit, or just like this. So the movement is just like an arm drag. Cool? Let's go. 1, 2. Let's go, guys. All right, so let's look at another option that we can have in terms of recovering from this position, because this is a very strong one, right? Now, whether they've got themselves on their knees, right, or if they're on like a knee slicing position, let's say you're on a knee slice, he transitions into a knee slice. I can still maybe have my knee shield here, which is great. But again, now he's at a higher level. His ability to smash my hips from that, well, be a little bit greater actually, right? But it does give up some room for me to work with more. He's more elevated, so I can kind of like find more things to do, right? So the first thing I'm gonna do is, again, my knees in line in this position is not good for me. Unless I'm doing the G-roll, right? Because I want to clamp. If I don't want to clamp, then frames are still in play, the same way I had earlier, whether I have this, I have a nogi style grip, doesn't matter. Just have something across his neck and have your forearm bothering him. Next is the sleeve grip, just to limit, again, we don't want anything to do with this grip at all, right? So we want to be first to that grip, wrist or sleeve. It's up to you. Next, elevating my top knee again. So from here, I'm gonna put reverse De La Riva hook. So if you guys can't see, I'm just intertwining our legs here. So I'm hooking kind of like the outside of his hip as best as I can with my toes connected that way. And with the same grip that I've got, I'm gonna move my knee up like this. Okay, now he can choose to have his arm like this, or he can still have this weave grip. He doesn't really need to let go. He just feels that there's more space there, but some people will keep that. So from here, what I want you to do is, since it's still there and the knee is already out, you're gonna make a grip on the sleeve. Okay, this is if it's here. You're gonna make a grip on the sleeve, or if it's no-gi, because I do this no-gi, I make a grip on the outside. I make his palm turn up, and I grip the meaty part on the outside by the pinky, and I'm pulling. Notice the connection now, Malik. Try to pull your arm. It's very hard for him. And I want to do the same thing if I'm trying to grab the gi. I'm going to kind of twist that wrist that way and really wedge my own wrist on my hip. This makes this position kind of strong. What I don't want, even if I have this grip, is for him to do this, to crush my knees again. So once I get that distance that I need, like this, my knees flared upwards, once I make this grip, I'm going to maintain that traction. That's what's stopping him from running towards this way. Okay? Now from here, what can you do? You can put your feet together and you can kind of move him. Okay? Now let's say he postures a bit more. My left hand is going to grab his ankle or his pants. You choose. Okay? So here, you got his pants, or if you can reach his ankle, great, do it. And from here, all I need you to do is turn your hips towards that left side while you pull this heel. So I'm pulling. I turn my hips to the left side like this, and that's going to make them fall. To finish, it's very similar to the technical stand-up. So we're here, again, I want to separate my knees and my feet, so I'm going to do a reverse De La Riva, right? Boom. From here, I'm going to separate, post this leg, Malik. Yeah, this is much better. So, move the knee out, we still got the lead, we grab the sleeve, we pull for our hip, like so. Always still maintaining control on this cross-facing arm. Now to look for his pants or his heel. I like the heel in no-gi, and I like the stinky part. I'm still doing this big pull here. So if I'll do no-gi style, I'll do this. The most important part here is that not one leg is doing the work. I'm turning my knees at the same time, but I'm not losing this angle. I'm not collapsing my knees or expanding them. I'm just keeping that strong angle with my knee that feels good. I feel like, okay, here I feel connected. I'm not overextending my knees. So I'm just going to turn. Notice, turn and pull. That's going to generate the sweep. Now, how do you finish from here? I like to hold on to the ankle or to the pants, whichever grip you have, and then let go of the sleeve grip to post. Technically, we end up in the same spot. And from here, he can attempt now to do the move. Let me do it though. From here, already, I've got my reverse del Eva, I got my phone, I move my knee out, I make the grip, and I pull. Hand grip, heel. Turn outwards, post, technical stand up, and I hold on to this because I don't want him to do the technical stand up with me. So a good way to finish this position afterwards is to start posting your leg, getting here, and fighting if you can. Immediately get to the inside. That way he can't counter you with the same move. But if you can drill back and forth like this, it'd be best. Okay? 1, 2. Go, guys. Now, this is just like to demonstrate some of the things that you can do as an advanced belt, right? Like in terms of your recovery, way to recover. We're not going to drill it, but you can feel free to drill it on your own. So anytime someone has 110, whether they're on their knees or when they're on 110, I'm employing the same thing, right? Moving my knee up because I don't want them to crush my knee like so. Yeah, like let's say you got this one to crush, yeah. Let's say it's crushed already. My next goal is for them to not reach upper body control. At least limit, because at least I can extend and make his way longer. And even if my knees are crushed, a little misdirection of their head like this, right? Just now their trajectory is that way. They're no longer coming this way. And I can't even block his grip on this arm anymore. It's basically null now. So now you can move your knee out and maybe try to hit that same move or open it completely and go for, you know, like it's a more of a wider way of doing it with your body, but it still moves as long as you do some redirection. You can even double up on his head. This is a good no-gi style way to get rid. But notice my right foot right now, this bottom leg. It's loose. So even if I do this and he decides to get rid of him, I'm in trouble now. Now I got to scramble to create some kind of control on him. So when I emphasize this toe turning downwards, when I do this, try to move, you see he's stuck. Right? He's stuck there because my foot's stapling him down. So now I can do this, pop. Notice this toe. Try to move. He can't free that right leg because it's just that toe down position. Cool? All right, that's it, guys. Let's get bathroom, water, whatever you need. If you're ready to roll, just roll right away. Cool? Let's go. Good.